Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. We're going to talk about Social Security claiming with Coach Dave Pimper. My name is Steve Murray here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and my goal here at the company is to make sure we've got the right products, the right training, the right incentives, and the right service to make your life easier. So, of course, today, a big part of what we're talking about is the training aspect of that. And we're going to have the coach, Dave Pemper, talking about Social Security claiming, how you can use that with your clients currently to assist them to the best result for Social Security claiming, why it's so important. And then further from that, we'll talk a little bit about how we can grow our business and meet new clients via Social Security claiming. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity there as well. So a couple of things that we want to talk about here this morning. As we get rolling, I wanted to mention to you, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in and we'll get them sent over to us, and we'll get them asked and answered as quickly as we can. Certainly, there'll be a couple of polls that will pop up. If you happen to have a second, as you see those pop up, go ahead and answer yes or no to those. You're not making any commitments there. You're simply letting us know whether you might have interest or not. And so with that, let's go ahead and get started here. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, hit go into your chat button, go ahead and type it in, and we'll get that asked and answered. So you may have awareness of these two programs. I'm going to go through them here rather quickly. I want to make sure that you're aware from an incentive standpoint, a couple of the things that we do. So we've got an RPM program. So if you refer a producer, they do business with us, they get appointed with us, we're going to send you a check for $50. But as they do business, we're going to send you a little of extra cash to help you with your business, or to help you with whatever you want to use it for. That's your money to use as you see fit. Marketing reimbursement's a little bit different. It's based on the business that you do with us. You do business with us, we put money in your account, and you send us receipts, and we match your spend dollar for dollar on your marketing. Two very nice programs. Hopefully you all are already taking advantage of those. There's a good number of you here today that are just regularly, or just getting rolling with us, not having done business with us regularly over the last few years. And so for those folks that are new to us, first 180 days, you are also available to you the opportunity to take advantage of our new producer bonus. We got various levels of that. And the bottom line is that I want you to know that when you do business with us in your first 180 days, you can claim at different levels. And when you do that, whether it's assistance with your marketing, or a trip to the Ritz-Carlton, or however you want to use that, but in addition to that, if there's something that you do already that you'd rather have us apply kind of a cash equivalent towards that, we're glad to do that. So I just want you to let me know if there's something that's working for you. Let your sales director know if there's something that's working for you, you'd rather have that money or that incentive applied to, and be glad to do that. We got a great back office here. I'm not, I don't want to dwell on a lot, but we do get a lot of compliments. Folks that maybe had been with another of our competitors come over, and they just can't, the difference in what we do as opposed to what a lot of FMOs do in terms of supporting, making sure that your business goes through quickly and without any trouble, and keeping you informed of the process. I don't know that there's anybody better at that, and it goes all the way from initial case design all the way through commission. So if you haven't felt the IAMS difference in terms of service, give us a shot. We also have a great advertising team here that's kind of at your disposal. Think of it as an advertising firm that specializes in your business and specializes in doing that at an expense that is as low as it can possibly be, if not free, pro bono. So you need to if you're not taking advantage of that currently, see what we can do for you. There's a lot of pieces that are out there that we can logo and get your name on at no expense. There's a lot of things that we can do for you at very, very little expense, or using your marketing reimbursement dollars and things like that. The opportunities are endless, I guess, is what I would say. And I want you to get with your sales director and say, tell me about your marketing team. Tell me about the advertising firm there and what they can do to help me grow my business, and let them learn a little bit about what you do, and then see how we can apply what that team does to your business and your success. We've got a great website, ever expanding, more and more information on there all the time. And it's all kind of built around the sales and marketing part of your business and helping you grow that. So whether you're looking for just the right product using our annuity sales engine, or want to use the Firelight application that we have out there. If you haven't signed up and set up for our single sign-on for Firelight, so that you can do business with multiple carriers using our Firelight instance, and not having to go from company to company to company's website to use theirs, really makes your life easier. You can basically get on on our website with most of the companies that you do business with, and get your Firelight application submitted. And then if you're submitting 2 applications on the same client with 2 different carriers, you can basically just copy that information over to the second carrier application. Those are some of the benefits of doing it through the IAMS website. Your administrator, if you have one, will love it. I guarantee you. We hear that over and over again. So instead of having to go to Athene's website and then Equitrust website and then American Equity's website or whatever to do that business, they can just go to the one website, our website, and there's sign-on information. All your basic information is already there on all of your applications. If you're doing an application on a client that you've already done with another carrier, just copy and pasting that. It really makes their life and can make your life quite a bit easier. So that's also on our website. We have the iPipeline for life applications and life quoting that's out there as well. A lot of great tools on our website. I always say, call your sales director up, tell them about your business, and then they'll walk you through and say, okay, these are 2 or 3 things on the website that you should take advantage of. If you're not using the retirement analyzer or something like it, I think you'll be amazed at how much this can affect your sales and affect your relationships with your clients. So this is, I think, the best tool. That's why we pay for it, but we think it's the best tool in the industry for agents and for clients. It really helps for your clients to be able to see kind of very graphically what is, kind of where they are on their retirement journey, where they might be coming up short, where they might be long, maybe they're overexposed from a risk standpoint or potentially underexposed. That's not what you generally find, but certainly that's a possibility. And it shows them all that in kind of an easy to read format. And it's something that you can review with them annually. And of course, it includes Social Security as well. I mean, it's a big part of people's retirement. So there's a very pertinent to what we're talking about today and just a very valuable thing. If we pay for it for you. So if it's a tool that you have never used, I would give Marcus a call and say, hey, Marcus, show me how this works. Give me a sign on. Let me try it for a while. Show me the basic ins and outs of it. I'll run one on myself, whatever you want to do, just to kind of see how it works. And then as you have your next client comes up, try it on them. I think you'll be amazed by how it changes a little bit of their perception of what you can do for them. And it'll build you some sales. There's, the life insurance component, annuity component, long-term care component, all those things get addressed. It helps you with Social Security claiming planning as well. So give Marcus a call. If as long as you're using it and doing business, we pay for it for you forever. So there's no expense. If you had got it on your own, you'd be paying 60, 70, 80 bucks a month for a tool like that. I think this one would be 80 bucks a month if you're paying for it on your own. So nice benefit of doing business with IAMS. Hopefully you're taking advantage of it. We've got a wealth management team out there now. I just want you all to be aware of that. If you are looking at maybe adding managed assets to your business, I think it'd be good to give the folks over at IAMS Wealth a call, because what we have done over and over again with folks, we primarily come from an insurance background. And so a lot of the folks that are on our wealth management, with our RIA, had that as their background. So we helped them with their testing and helped them with the transition. And it's not easy. It's just like, hey, I got the license, now I know what to do. And so our firm can help you with that transition if maybe that's kind of your background is in insurance. Oops. I'm going to, if I have it, I'm going to put up a quick poll. If you have interest in talking to the folks with the wealth management team, just check yes on this poll. And here's the reasons you might want to do that. As I mentioned already, if you're just thinking about it right now and maybe need some assistance at the process of getting set up to get to do your learning and get tested, they can help with that certainly. If maybe you're current, if you're already have an RIA and you're unhappy with the fee charges and what you're getting for that, then I think you'll be pleased with what they do there. Their fees are as low as I've heard, and the benefits, whether it's getting the your E&O, your CRM, a website, that's all included in your monthly fee, and the fees are very reasonable. If you're not happy with your payout, so the one difference that I hear over and over again from guys that have come over to our RIA, our payout is just a skosh over 1% to the advisor. But it does not run through a grid. So you're not going to get 60 or 70 or 80 or 90% of that 1% or a little over 1%. You're going to get the whole amount. That surprises folks that have already been in that business. And so if that's something that maybe you're, running your your payout through a grid and want to see if there's a possibility of changing that, I think you'll be really pleased with what the folks over there have to say. So, and just from a service standpoint, they're like us. They come from a high service background. That is they were born that way. That's what they've learned, and that's how they've been successful, just like IAMS has been successful in that. So if that service component is really important to you and having people that you can count on to help you with your business, just a phone call away, you're going to like IAMS well. So if any of those things might be of interest, hit yes on that poll. It certainly is possible that you haven't considered, or if you have some questions about how important that might be to your business going forward, that'd be a good thing to have a conversation with them about as well. Thank you all for voting so quickly. Just a couple of you haven't, and I'm guessing that's probably because you weren't able to. If that's the case and you have some interest, give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. I'll chat that number to you here so that you have it before long. But if you want to chat about it further, just give us a call. We'd love to chat with you and see if we can help you in some way. I'm going to close that poll out and get moved on. Thank you, by the way, for voting so quickly. Academies, so we've had to suspend those, and I think that's probably going to be the case through the end of this year. So really now we're talking about 2021 academies. If you have an interest in joining us at an academy, you can see kind of the things that we talk about. Certainly the centerpiece of that is the 4 top producers that we bring in to assist and help you with what do they do in their business that's helped them get to the level of production that they're at that maybe is transferable to you. I think that's, if I'm a producer in the field, I want to hear from producers and what they've done and how they've reached the goals and capabilities that they have. So if that's of interest to you, that'd be a good reason to let us know you have interest in coming to an academy. And again, what I'm going to ask you to do is call your sales director if you do and say, hey, send me a sample agenda for your life and annuity academies. That's something they can do in a heartbeat, get it right out to you. And they'll enclose with that, they'll also send you out a registration form. If you want to be considered for joining us, you want to come in, and like I said, I doubt that we're going to have one now in 2020 just based on what we're seeing. But if you want to be considered for the academies in early 2021, send that registration form back and we will get you into an academy in 2021. So love to have you all join us there. So getting moved on a little bit, we're going to talk about Social Security maximization with the coach. Dave, are you with us?
Absolutely.
There he is. So as I mentioned at the outset, Dave is the coach. He's president of Lazarus Coaching. He's been coaching with us now for probably about 14 years, worked with many of our producers, whether it's practice management, 401k and retirement plan, qualified money seminars, more recently Social Security claiming seminars, and of course most recently Retirement Boss Radio, things that he's helped our producers with to help grow their business. And these are all things that Dave is currently using in his business. So he's not a coach that's not doing, he's a coach that is doing, and we think that's really important. And so having a coach that is doing and knows the ins and outs and also is good at the process of helping other folks gain the processes appropriately and correctly and being there on a daily basis is a really great asset for us. We're happy to have the coach, Dave Pimper, with us and helping our guys and gals meet their production goals. So we're going to talk today specifically about Social Security claiming. Dave, I don't think it hurts to touch a little bit on the success you've been seeing with Retirement Boss Radio, because Social Security knowledge of Social Security has certainly helped you, I believe, from helping to grow your listenership on the Retirement Boss Radio. It's been real beneficial. And I think we can't understate the value of having Social Security knowledge with their present clients and also helping to grow their client base. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you and let's get rocking and rolling on Social Security claiming and Social Security claiming seminars.
You bet. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody being on the line with this. We've got a good amount of folks, and we're a bit in the summer doldrums right now, but I'll tell you right up front, if you've been in the business for a long time, this is a great time to be prospecting, a great time for lead generation. And even though the pandemic is amongst us and we haven't done as many conventional seminars, as Steve may have told you, that we've had one last week and we've got another advisor doing one this week. And so we're really, depending on the part of the country that you're practicing in. I mean, if you're in New York or New Jersey, it may be a little different matter, but there's a lot of places that are open that you can have public workshops, and we're really going to start gearing those back up face-to-face starting in August. My name is Dave Pimper. Been in the business since 1981. First 3 years with insurance, and then I got into brokerage, investment brokerage. My main insurance work now is through fixed indexed annuities from the guarantee standpoint, but about 80% is still with securities. Have an expertise in Social Security, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I mainly work with people in transition, the pre-retired or just retired crowd, and so I do a lot of rollover business. We've got a couple, 3 or 4 different seminars, but it seems like year in and year out that Social Security claiming certainly is something that keeps reloading itself. 10 to 11,000 people per day are turning the age of 62 to 67 and thinking about when they're going to take Social Security. Very few people really understand Social Security, and so my goal is to coach you up and then also get you on a seminar track so you can use that knowledge of seminars, or use that knowledge of Social Security within the seminar setting. If you have any questions, certainly go in and just type them in, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. So those are slides that are right from the actual seminar itself. And it says, the next best thing to being wise oneself is to live in a circle of those who are. It's by C.S. Lewis, a Christian scholar. And then I talk about what my background is, kind of gives you an idea of what I put on the slide. I do read the disclosure. Seminar's educational nature, and it's designed to give the seminar a broad attendee of current social, financial information, etc. Then we do talk, now this is interesting. So we were talking about the Tax Cuts and the Jobs Act, but that came into effect in January 1 of 2018. Now we talk about the Secure Act came into effect on January 1 of this year, and the CARES Act, which there's several specific things on the CARES Act that also got changed about not having to take out an RMD. It's suspended for the year of 2020, and some other things. But we spend about 2 or 3 minutes on each one of those acts to let people know the specifics. We don't do the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act anymore. Those are a little bit, all of this has been updated and is brand new, but it talks about this is on the, of course, the Secure Act, and I'll go through those slides pretty quick. So the first Social Security slide is really kind of a stroll down memory lane, and just know that Social Security was started in 1935 by the Social Security Act. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the president that enacted that. First check was in 1940 to Ida Mae Fuller for a little over $22. 65 was the only age you could take it back in 1940. Now, of course, you can take as early as 62 at a discount or as late as 70 at a premium. And then full retirement age, we run from 43 to 1954. Full retirement age is 66. It stair steps 2 months each year until you were born 1960 or later. Okay, and then it's the full retirement age is 67. So everyone's going to be 66 or 67 in the between their invariances between those two ages. In 1961, Franklin, this was with JFK, John F. Kennedy, reduced, you could take as early as 62 at a discount, and then shortly after that you could wait longer and take it at a premium. 75 was an automatic cost of living. It was never taxed until 83. The last time we ran a deficit in the Social Security Trust Fund, unbelievable, 1983. 1984 was the first year of taxation. If you made enough money, there's brackets. Those brackets have not gone up with inflation, which is interesting. So many more people pay taxes now on Social Security than they ever did before. Remember, how you figure out Social Security taxation is through provisional income. It's your modified adjusted gross income, not counting any Social Security. Add half of your Social Security and all of your muni bond interest. If it's above certain brackets, you're going to pay up to 50% or even 85% of your Social Security will be taxed. File and suspend got phased out in 6 months in 2015. restricted application is still around. Actually, it phases out completely in January the 2nd of 2024. A little bit of history of Social Security. Facts of Social Security, yeah. Over 68 million people on Social Security, 5.5 million people receiving benefits. Actually, in 2020, the average Social Security benefit is $1,503, or about $18,000 a year. All of those. They took an old set of slides here. Actually, there's a new set of slides. Actually, it is almost 60% of the people count Social Security as a major source of income. I think this is really a strong piece. Came out in July the 1 of last year, so just about a year ago, by Janet Herron in the USA Today. She says, doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. And bullet point number 1, this is word for word right from the excerpt. How much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Bullet point number 2, retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Jeez. Bullet point number 3, only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. Isn't that something? Only 4%. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm talking to all the advisors on the line with us today, if you're working the pre-retired or just retired crowd and you don't really understand the ins and outs of Social Security, shame on you. You should. And I'm here to coach you. It's hard to learn by yourself. It's complicated. But I can coach you up on Social Security. I can give you the very best book that I call it the Bible of Social Security to read. We have attachments that, if we talk about file and restricted application, or we talk about spousal benefits, you're going to get an attachment from me after we coach, talking an article about that specific subject. The coaching, education is great. I'll tell you right now, putting it into action by seeing people, that's how you make money. 20 years ago, you never saw something like this. You see it all the time now. How to maximize your Social Security benefit. I told you there's 3 ages or dates that are important. Full retirement age is somewhere between 66 and 67, where you get your full benefit. If you're born from 1943 to 1954, you'll get your full benefit at 66. If you take early, it's reduced. You get it now, but it's reduced. If you wait longer, it's increased. You don't get it now, but it's increased. People, you come to a workshop like this. This is just how I'm going in and talking. But you know, is Social Security really going broke? Or when's the best time to apply? How to get my best benefit? Yeah, all of those things. If you have any questions, certainly type them on in, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you here when we get done. I always say Social Security can have a huge value, but claiming at your right time, not the right time, but your right time. Is it a big benefit? Can be. I'll never forget in Hoosiers, one of my favorite shows, you know, when the new coach is going in town and he isn't getting very well receptive, you know, because he's old, he's 50 plus years old, and the kid's out there, Jimmy, shooting, and he says hi to him, and Jimmy doesn't say one thing back to him. He said, not very friendly. And then the principal says, can be. That's the way Social Security benefits are. It can be a huge benefit if you live long enough, take it at the right time. A $2,000 benefit at 2.8% COLA, which is probably average in the last 15 years. Yeah, a 10% benefit grows to $2,600. A 2,000 benefit. In 20 years, $3,500. In 30 years, almost $4,600. If you look at that in total income received, 10 years, $300,000. Whoa. 10 years, $300,000. 20 years, $673,000. And in 30 years, $1.1 million. Pretty amazing. You can get your benefit online. So most people do. You can get knocked out. Just talked to some folks came in for Social Security counseling today, and they got knocked on, you know, because they couldn't answer the questions right. But it's an easy way to do. If you do this, you won't get an online, you won't get a physical statement. We have 5 myths in Social Security. Is it going broke? And I heard my dad I mean, he told me more than once, you better save, better invest, because it won't be around when you retire, Dave. Well, I'm 65 years of age, not retired, but it's still here in full force. Trust fund has $2.9 trillion, and revenues are $3 billion higher than expenses, so it's running still a surplus. What are the things that we can do to make it solvent? We could tax more. We could increase the full retirement age. We could eliminate COLA. There's all kinds of things. I truly believe just by raising the full retirement age. If you raise it from 67 to 70, I'll tell you right now, you talk to my son, and I say this during the workshop because I try to keep it light because it's a heavy subject. It's a very 2,700 rules of Social Security. It's a very rules-heavy subject. But if I ask my 28-year-old son, Sam, they're going to go in and raise your Social Security full retirement age from 67 to 70. He would say, who cares, Dad? Give me another beer. Yeah, not at all. There is a maximum cap they could raise. It's actually 137,700 this year. They could raise that cap if they wanted to. So there's different things, and they will do something here within the next 2 years. It's a political hot potato. Is it a pay-as-you-go system? Yes, it is. You pay 6.2%, and your employer pays 6.2%. Does the government borrow on the government bonds, special issue government bonds that are purchased? They do, and they keep it with IOUs. But it's the same kind of backing. Full faith and credit of government. It's the same thing that backs the currency. What backs Social Security is what backs the dollar bill. When the dollar bill is good no longer, then I'll be concerned about Social Security. Until that point, I won't. Is it a Ponzi scheme? No Ponzi scheme goes 85 years without missing a payment. That's how long Social Security has gone without ever missing a payment. Yeah. So first of all, you got to have 40 quarterly credits. Each credit's worth it's worth exactly $1,410 in a year. If you make $5,640, you get 4 quarterly credits. You need 40 of those to have a benefit, or 10 years of work. You can't have any more than 4 credits a year. And it's how big those credits are is depending on how much money you make. The more you make, up to $137,700, the more money will be in your Social Security account. They consider the 35 highest inflation earning years. So if you have 34 years in, you get 1 year you get a 0. Don't forget that inflation. COLA is so important. COLA started in 1975. There's been an increase in cost of living or retail inflation every year but 3. 2010, 11, and 16, there was no inflation. There was no COLA. Last year's COLA was 1.4, or this year's COLA is 1.4%. Last year, 2.8. The year before, 2%. Last 10 years, 2%. Since the inception, about 3.6% average. Highest year ever, 1981. COLA was over 14%. Get a load of that. Don't you love that dog? I do. It's my favorite slide. Look at, he's got a bone tie on. A little joke, a little Nebraska humor. Yeah, full retirement age, 43 to 54 is 66. Stair steps 2 months for each year up to 1960 or later at 67. You get your full amount, FRA. Tons of acronyms. Tons. It's acronym filled, Social Security. Applying a full benefits. Yeah, if your full retirement age is 66 and you apply at 62, your benefit is reduced 25%. If your FRA is 67, it's reduced by 30%. You get the money now, but it's reduced for the rest of your life. If you wait a year after full retirement age, it's guaranteed to grow 8%. Remember, if you put COLA, like if there's 2% COLA, guaranteed to grow 10%, can't get that on any type of guaranteed government investment, can you? 8% a year, big deal. Big deal. So we're talking about spousal, divorce, and survivor benefits, a little restricted application, kind of the meat of it. And I go through everything much slower if we're together, of course, coaching one-on-one. I coach 3 coaching sessions. They're pretty intense. There's quite a bit of homework. I mean, you got to, read a book, but you'll really get the gist. You learn Social Security by actually working with actual people. But PIA stands for primary insurance amount. That's the amount at full retirement age. Let's say Dave's is $2,400 and Amy's is $1,000. On a spousal benefit, Dave takes his 24. Amy can go in and take her 1,000, or she can take half of mine. As long as I've started mine, she can go on in and take half of mine. She can take 1,000 or 1,200, whichever is higher. Well, 1,200 is higher. She gets her 1,000 and a 200 top up for a spousal benefit. If I don't take mine, she can't take hers. So if I want to wait till 70, she can only take 1,000 until I turn 70. Okay? How about divorce spouse benefits? Here's the triple play plus one. Marriage lasted at least 10 years or more. The spouse receiving the divorce spouse benefit is currently unmarried, and the ex has to be at least 62. Now, the plus one is the divorce had to be at least 2 years or longer, okay, in the divorce situation. If that's the case, you can use your spouse, and your spouse can use you. You can use each other. Have it as a married benefit. Married benefits have more options, more alternatives, more opportunities than a single person's benefit does. That's why it's better to be married to get a bigger benefit for Social Security than it is to be single. So many divorced spouses do not ask for this benefit. In Social Security Administration is, I call that as biblical. If you don't ask, you don't receive. If you ask, you receive. Spousal benefits are automatically done by Social Security Administration. Divorced spouse benefits have to be asked for. If you have any questions, type them in. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Survivor benefit. Who normally dies first, guy or the gal in a marriage? Yeah, guy does. My dad died at 82. Mom's 90, going to be 97 next month, is still living. My in-law, my mom-in-law, died about 6-7 years ago. She was 88 or 87. Her husband died at 81. Yeah. I always joke, you know why that is? You know why the man dies first? Because he elects to. Yeah, some people laugh at that, some don't. Kind of Nebraska humor again. But let's say Dave's $2,000 benefit, Amy's 12, Dave dies. Say they're both full retirement age, so there's no discounting in the benefit. Amy can keep her benefit, or she can drop hers and jump up to Dave's. Of course she's going to drop hers and jump up to Dave's. But it's not done automatically. It has to be requested, has to be asked for. I had a lady from one of my very first workshops I ever did 11 years ago in Fremont at the Keene Memorial Library. We had about 20 people there. I'm educating them up on Social Security. She came in and said, Mr. Pimper, I always get a big kick when older people call me Mr. Pimper. Mr. Pimper, you said something that really disturbed me. I said, well, what's that? She said, you said that if one of the spouses die and that spouse has a higher Social Security benefit, that the other spouse can jump up, let theirs go and jump up to that. I said, that's exactly true. She's just so matter of fact, she goes, well, I was told you couldn't do that. I said, who told you that? She said, my brother. And I always say, don't let your brother, your sister, your mother, your priest, your rabbi, your pastor. I mean, go to someone who really understands Social Security. And it's most likely not going to be your CPA. It's not going to be your banker. It's not going to be your trust lawyer. It's going to be someone like you and me that really learns Social Security, grasp it, and can help people in that kind of transition phase of their life, going from health insurance into government health. I mean, going for Medicare, but also going from wage income to Social Security income. Coordinating spousal benefits, file and suspend went away in 2015, phased out, but restricted application is still available. This gets tricky. I don't like slides like this. I don't have any pictures on it, but this is kind of complicated. But I go through it much more in depth so you understand it more. But if you were born, the person requesting restricted application was born before January the 2nd of 1954. January the 2nd of 1954. Okay? If you're born after that, so you're 66, then you can do a restricted application as long as your spouse is at least 62 or over. Okay? And here's how it works. Your spouse has to take her benefits. So in this case, let's say Amy's was to 1,000 and my PIA, primary insurance amount is 2,400. And let's say that we're both full retirement age, just for the simple case. You don't have to be both. Just the person requesting the benefit does. But I request the benefit. Amy takes her benefit. I request her benefit and simultaneously stop it. which is called restricted application. Mine's now, in the eyes of Social Security, I've started it. So what I'm able to do, I can go out and I can be a taker of a spousal benefit. If it was filed and suspended, you'd be the giver of the spousal benefit. Here you're the taker. And spousal benefits always half. Half of 1,000 is 500. As that 2,400 continues to grow 8% plus cost of living. Yeah, pretty cool. So that 2,400 is going to grow up to maybe $3,500, $3,600, and they'll take it 70. And that whole time, Amy's taking her 1,000, but I get half of her benefit. That's free money. That $500 is free money. 500 times 12 is 6,000 times 4 years, 24,000. In this hypothetical scenario, there's $24,000 worth of free money that I am able to receive because of restricted application. It's wild. Only, get a load of this, only 0.7% of all the people in the U.S. that this could benefit use it. And what's the main reason why? They don't know it's even available. That's how you can help people. And when this goes and passes and not around any longer, we can still help people by explaining survivor benefit, individual benefit, spousal benefit, divorced benefit. There's so many different kind of benefits people just don't really understand. Social Security myth number 2, you're going to get the biggest family benefit waiting to claim at 70. It's wrong. I mean, we got the biggest family benefit when my wife took it 62. So no, of course that's not true. What's the considerations of claiming early? Are there some? Sure there are. You're in bad health. You need the income now. The health of your family, you're in good health, but your family's not. That might be a reason. But being uninformed, I was going to put down being ignorant. That was too strong, I thought. But being uninformed, that's a bad reason to take early. That's what happens to a lot of people. Could it make good sense delaying? Sure, it could. You basically are doubling your benefit from 62 to 70 if you wait. If you wait those 8 years, your benefit's basically guaranteed to double. That's at about a 3% cost of living. Social Security myth number 3, if I claim Social Security benefits early, I invest the income, I'll come out ahead rather than delaying the claim. You think I'd be all in favor of that because I am an investor for people, but you're guaranteed if you wait to get 5 to 8% compounded growth on your income. Guaranteed, not counting COLAs. Then it goes 7 to 10. Yeah, where can you get that from the U.S. government outside of Social Security? You can't. You cannot. Yeah, I think it's a mistake for most people who don't have the discipline to do that. There's an annual earnings test. Actually, it's 18,240, not 17,640 in 2020. If you make over that, and you're younger than full retirement age, government's going to take half of your money away from you. If you're an over, give or take, it depends on your specifics, but about 47, 48,000, they'll take all of it. They actually give it back to you in a stipend once you turn full retirement age, but they take it out quickly. They take it out within 5 years, and they pay you back over your life expectancy with no interest. Just not a very good deal. I wouldn't recommend it. Are there do-overs? You darn right there's do-overs. I always say if you do and you do it, there's no do-overs. There are. Within 1 year, if you claim, and if 1 year you pay back any type of money that you earned or any type of money that your family, that means your wife or children earned from Social Security, pay it back, you can do it one time, act like you never, ever took it in the first place. How about you're working for a company and the company, say, goes under and you retire, start taking Social Security after 62, and at 64, you get a great job opportunity. Make more money, work less hours than what you were doing before, and you take it and you want to now stop your Social Security, can you? Nope, you cannot. How about at full retirement age? Yep, then you can. At full retirement age you can, but not before. You have to keep it going until full retirement age. And like that lady that her brother told her to couldn't jump up to her husband's, deceased husband's survivor benefit for Social Security. What happens is that as long as you're past full retirement age, say 6 months past, you can go back up to 6 months for a retroactive benefit. They'll normally cut you a check on that. So like with her, she lost actually $30,000, but we went back and got $500 a month for 6 months, $3,000, and that was paid to her in a lump sum. That's called a retroactive benefit. I consider that a do-over also. Is there taxation on Social Security? Depends. Are there ways you can eliminate taxation? Depends. Sometimes there are. Are there investments, savings you can do that doesn't count towards the provisional income? Yes, there are. Okay? Again, I want to say this. Any questions whatsoever? Yeah, just go ahead and type them in, and we're going to answer them for you. Since muni bond income is taxed in the provisional Social Security income equation, it only makes sense that tax-free Roths are wrong. Tax-free Roths are completely tax exempt from taxation of Social Security. Here are the brackets. Even though this is an older slide, it is correct because this hasn't changed since 1983. No cost of living increase. If you're married filing jointly and your provisional income's under 32, you pay no taxation on Social Security. If it's 32 to 44, 50% of your Social Security is taxed. Over 44, 85. There's always 15% that is tax advantage when it comes to Social Security income. Now I'm going to say something kind of off script here, but you know what? Social Security, I mean, there's been nothing besides hard work. There's been nothing that's made me more money than understanding and knowing Social Security, because I'm one of the few guys around that do. I mean, we got about 3 or 4 guys doing Social Security workshops. Probably no one does them maybe as consistently as I do. I can't tell you of how many business relationships I've made strictly because of Social Security. I'm on actually 7 radio shows right now in Omaha. I mean, I'm kind of dominating the market, and we got 5 appointments last week. 5 appointments, 5 set appointments with Retirement Boss Radio, and 3 of them specifically brought up Social Security. Though it didn't go on to a second appointment because they actually have about $550,000 worth of investable assets, but just isn't freed up right now because of their age and their 401k. But he came in specifically. One of the big questions where he says, I know you have expertise in Social Security. If you don't know it, you should. I can certainly teach it to you. But then we're going to put a seminar system behind it to be able to actually get in front of people. Education doesn't make you money. Talking to people make you money. You put those two things together, and you've got a really kind of a dynamite marketing practice of lead generation. What hopefully will end up with doing business with them. Roth conversions are big right now because I think tax rates are low, with the standard deduction being at $24,400. If you're both 65 and over, it's $27,000 worth of standard deduction. That's a lot of standard deduction. Tax rates are probably going to go higher. There's no RMDs. You have much more control of your money, and tax-free beats tax-deferred. Here's a myth: the Social Security Administration will give you the best advice. They don't. They don't give any advice. They can't give you advice. It's illegal for them to give you advice. They can give you your biggest benefit now, but they cannot scenario plan like restricted application. Look at D, right with their operational manual for the employees of the Social Security Administration. Number D, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. I use this as a worksheet, and I like it a lot. Consider all your income streams before you start claiming Social Security. And I do go through each one of those bullet points. Social Security is not a standalone investment stream. It's how it coordinates in conduits with the other income streams. Social Security is the most flexible of all 5 income streams. Claiming at the right time versus claiming at your right time is paramount. Don't forget about the survivor benefit, which a lot of people do. Wages, pensions, income-producing assets require RMDs and Social Security. Number 3 here, this is where we uncover all of the assets, and of course we go through that of how we do it. Now, at the end of the seminar, I'll be talking about, I know you got questions, because I want them to sign up for the Social Security meeting. What will my benefit be? If I've already applied, do I have options? Should I Roth convert? Those are all questions you may have. And then we go on in and we talk about that there's so many things about your own option, at what age, survivor, spousal, if I have other income. And the last 3 slides of this presentation, which I'm going to, those weren't all the slides, but the last 3 slides, I'm using a procrastination close, meaning if you procrastinate, you won't be as successful. If you take action, you'll have more success. And that's so true, though, isn't it? People who take action are more successful. I talk about, there's a slogan that says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow never comes, does it? No. I mean, I've never had anybody come to me and say, Dave, you cannot believe how much money I've made from procrastinating. I've gotten rich off of procrastinating. Doesn't happen. What is Nike Shoe Company's slogan, most profitable shoe company in the world? Just do it. You darn right. Just do it. People who take action are the most successful. Then I go right into the no cost, no obligation appointment. I tell everybody to take out the sheets. I show you how to get all those yellow sheets out. On there we have dates and we have time segments of when we're taking appointments. That one up in Vermont just got 11 appointments. That was just last week. We got another one down in the Midwest, town of about 400,000. We're hoping to get 10 to 15. I mean, I was getting 15 appointments before the pandemic every time. I had as high as 35 appointments in one in a 2-night workshop. And I can't tell you the last time I had less than 13, 14 appointments. And those are coming back. And that's what we're doing. Right? By the time that I coach people up on Social Security, that takes 3 or 4 weeks. That'll bring us into August. And then we're looking at August and at the latest. Normally, I didn't love August because everybody was on vacation. No one's on vacation now. They're bored. They want to get out of the house. We have masks there if they want to wear masks. You darn right. We want to keep them comfortable. But we're getting, for the couple, 2 or 3 that we're going on right now, we're getting good attendance and good appointments. So, and don't let that be a surprise to you. People are ready to get out. Government's not going to close down America again. There might be a few hot spots, but most of the people on our call today, I bet there's areas somewhere in your neighborhood where you can show this, whether it be a library, a school, a community center, a municipal center, but seminars are coming back right now, and you would rather be one of the first ones out there than one of the last. I'm doing my first one here in August. Okay. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, certainly bring it up. And then what I do on the very last slide I ever say, does everybody know who George Foreman is? They'll say yes. He's best known because he's a heavyweight boxer, made a ton of money, won the heavyweight division back from Michael Moore when he's 45 years of age and had it till he's 48, oldest heavyweight ever to have a belt. But you know where he made the majority of his money to date? Someone says the George Foreman Grill. I say that's exactly right. He was paid $136 million in cash and a little bit of stock to use his name. And then I joke and I say, you know what, unless your name's on a grill, you need to come in and see me. So mark yes on that consultation form. And then everybody laughs, maybe claps. And that is the seminar. And I'll tell you right now, we've gone in, and that seminar's not quite as long as it once was. We took a few fluff slides out, but it will take you 50 minutes to an hour, and it's proprietary to IAMS. We put that together. IAMS did all the artwork on it, and I actually did the slide-by-slide dissertation. But I'll tell you what happens is, if you don't do it, you don't know how much it could help you. We're going to open this on up. And Steve, I know you're on the line. Thank you for helping me with the slides. I'm going to get Steve Murray, one of the co-owners of IAMS, and now CEO of IAMS. That kind of sounds big, doesn't it, Steve? Yeah. Better Steve in the 25 years of the 34 years IAMS been in existence. Steve's been the 25, 26 years, so he certainly is a mainstay there. But if you'd like to learn more about maybe how Social Security, the understanding of Social Security could help your business, could help your practice. And remember, I've done 523 or 24 workshops. Almost 100 have been Social Security. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I certainly have expertise in what works and what doesn't. And Steve, of the whole time I've been coaching 14, 15 years, I don't think there's ever been a program of seminars, an educational program. There hasn't been that has been any more rewarding as far as from a compensation standpoint for us than Social Security. So I'm going to go in, hand that over to you, see if there's any questions, and we'll kind of wrap it on up here.
Thanks, Dave. Great job as always. I always enjoy listening into what you've got to say. There's always an extra little point or two in there. This time you've chosen to take a little bit of my fire. So as Dave mentioned, the Social Security claiming seminars have been the most lucrative from an agent standpoint. Social Security claiming knowledge is really a valuable skill set, and so guys and gals that work with Dave get a couple of benefits. One thing that I always like to mention to folks is doing the Social Security claiming seminar is probably the easiest. It's the gateway seminar to doing seminars because it's the easiest one to do. It's very, very learning and information processing with your clients and with people, potential prospects. It's very informational, and it makes it very easy to present. So some folks that I know of that maybe weren't comfortable with doing some other seminars have found a high level of comfort with doing Social Security claiming workshops and digital workshops. So a couple of advantages there. We had some really good results on our Facebook advertising. I don't know how much you went into that, Dave, where we talked about the Facebook advertising and what we've accomplished. We've had pretty good results there. Dave mentioned that the country is opening back up. We had our first gentleman since last March offer a face-to-face seminar system, and the response has been overwhelming. I do believe there's some pent-up desire for people to get out and see some, that maybe have had interest in Social Security claiming. So certainly that's something to consider. You need the right person, the right group on your team for this, and Dave is definitely the right person. I feel like IAMS is the right group. We're very service-oriented as a company. We're, we know that getting people in front of you and with the right subject matter is going to be really an important thing to your success, and so we concentrate on that. We spend a lot of time in making sure that we've got it right, and having someone with Dave's expertise is the first step of that. You need the Social Security claiming background and education yourself in order to be effective at that. But there's a lot of different ways now that you can use that, and seminars is certainly one way, and we can help get you in front of people for that. So we have a few questions, and most of them involve costs. Dave, do you want to talk about costing for a moment?
Yeah, $2,500. And on that $2,500, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and our goal is to get 10 appointments or more. That is our goal, and we would like to go in at this stage of the game, if we can get 30, 35 folks there, I think that's very, very strong. And what happens is we do it through Facebook. So the cost is $2,500, and if we can get 10 appointments, that's about $250 appointment, which in today's day and time, it's a bargain. I will tell you right now, those are qualified appointments where people they're coming in. I mean, you could do Zoom or you could do phone, but in Nebraska, we're seeing people face to face. And the big thing about this is it's a proven system. Could the pandemic have some kind of effect on it? Well, we thought it very well may, but you know what? Up in the Northeast, on the first one that we did last week, I mean, it was very successful. We got another one here in the Midwest, Southern Midwest, that is going on right now, that they've had a tremendous amount of sign-ups. So we're starting back on the face-to-face appointments. That's really where I have a lot more expertise on. That's where I've got 520 plus public seminars. And I'll tell you right this, people are tired of being pent up. People are tired. They want to come out. Give them the face mask option, social distance the chairs, do our part also, be good Samaritans from a healthy standpoint. But people, they need this information. And right now, there's a lot of Social Security shops that are not even open. They have to be, someone just told me that they waited 2 hours on the phone to talk to someone in Social Security. We're right there to be able to help them. So I think it's very timely. We're breaking all this out in August and September, and you should be you should be part of it if you see yourself getting in front of more people and really learning Social Security.
No doubt. Dave, is there some of the questions kind of revolve kind of a cost benefit. So I'm guessing that it has to do with, hey, when I have an appointment, what can I expect? How many appointments do I need to have where I can see? Can you give the folks a little idea of what you and the folks that you've coached with, what they've experienced in terms of
Yeah.
conversion from appointment to sale?
Right. So if you have 10 appointments, half of those people are not going to have any interest or have any money, or they just don't want to continue it. That leaves 5 or 6 appointments left. The goal is to close half of those. So that's 2 or 3 pieces or 2 or 3 households. And I would say that, we work with a lot of rollovers. I mean, a lot of rollover money. If you don't know what an in-service non-hardship withdrawal, a 59.5 rule, taking money out of 401k at 59.5, we do a lot of those, and we talk about that during the Social Security training over the 3 sessions that we have. But I would say, $350,000, $400,000 to $500,000 is about the average amount of money that comes on in. I diversify it on out, but I'm more holistic in my approach. But Steve, as you know, we have a lot of folks that they do strictly fixed index annuity. I don't do life business, but a lot of people do life business off of this too. It's just helping that person with their financials and where your expertise lies. But the big thing is there's 2 parts of sales. One is understanding the sales process, and one is getting in front of enough people. What is the most important of those 2? I think they're both important, but you can be the best at what you do in sales process and never get in front of anybody, and you're just a broke, educated salesperson. You need to get in front of people, and that's why Social Security alone, knowing it'll make you a better advisor, but not necessarily make you more money. Getting in front of people from a seminar standpoint, and you're actually talking to them about Social Security, I'm telling you, as Steve, as you know, and you can see this from my production, Social Security has really opened up the doors of a lot of attributes positive when it comes to production, because I have that expertise. Let me go in and coach that to you. Let me show you how to do that, and then get in front of a lot of people from the seminar series that we have with IAMS.
Dave, I know you have to run, but so we talked about radio, and so there's a question, what works better, radio or seminars? I have an idea what your answer might be, but I'm guessing they want to hear it from you.
Yeah, that's like saying, what's a better color, red or blue? Well, there's a preference there, but I will say this right now, because, and we did have some success, but I mean, it's different going over the internet and Zooming and face-to-face. It's hard to close a $500,000 deal by phone or by Zoom. I mean, and things are starting to open up now. We know that, throughout the majority of America. But what happens is that radio is the greatest social distancing media there is. I mean, you can't catch COVID-19 through a microphone. You just can't do it. And so what happens, like those folks that came in today, I mean, $450,000 that they got available, and he works for a company here in town. He works about 40 miles away. That came from radio, and we got 5 appointments this weekend from the radio. And so I would say there is not one better than the other. I think that you get more appointments with seminars, maybe not quite the quality, but when people come in from the radio, it seems like it's a little higher, maybe a little higher caliber of person. But I don't know if I could say one is better than the other. I have more appointments from seminars. So I just personally, I mean, if you're comfortable with seminars, I'd probably lead with that and come back with radio. If you don't think it's time to open up your shop yet with seminars or your area, maybe radio. But Steve, you and I both know that the radio leads that we have gotten from Retirement Boss Radio, it's been pretty outstanding. It really has. So on this, would you like more information on Social Security? You might say Social Security coaching, or maybe Social Security seminars, or maybe Retirement Boss Radio being your own host. It's a full A through Z, it's a turnkey system. If you want more information on getting in front of people, you want to mark yes, talk to me, see if maybe I can help you in your area.
Yeah, that would be a good approach. It's hard to everybody's different. So if you have interest in talking to Dave about any of those, that would be great. Just put yes on that, and certainly as you're sitting with them, you can go through the things. And what most people are surprised about radio, I would just add to that is it's surprisingly economical and surprisingly easy to do using the Retirement Boss radio system. So none of those should be the barrier, but it may be, hey, what's the best fit for your area? That may be more the question, or for you personally, what works best for you. So
I'll tell you right now, you have a seminar. Radio can be in the same kind of cost arena that just doing one seminar, meaning being on an hour show every week, 4 weeks or 4.3 weeks a month, cost you about the same of what a seminar cost. And I tell you what, that's a pretty good use of your money when you look at how many people you're contacting. Yep.
Yeah, most people are surprised by that, as in my experience. But
yep.
So I think we've answered all the questions. Jerry, you asked if this presentation, a recording of it, is available, and you'll receive an email after this webinar here, probably within the next couple hours. It will offer a link to the recording. So yes, you would certainly be able to review this if you like. Another question. Oh, so it regards Academy. So the question regarding academies, we do not yet have one planned. Obviously, we're kind of travel is still somewhat limited at times, and we bring people, but we do pay for the expenses associated with the academy when that happens. So your travel, your hotel, your meals while you come in do the academies will be taken care of. But as far as the timing of that, it is yet to be determined. But if you have interest, you need to get your name on the list. So if you have interest, call your sales director and just say, hey, send me the registration form, send me a sample itinerary so I can see kind of hour by hour what happens. And then if you have interest, send that registration form back in. Coaching. So Dave, I know with your Social Security claiming coaching, that involves some study on their part and some information on your part, and then you're certainly available to answer their questions should they arise. That shouldn't be in any way be a barrier to you heading forward, whether it's radio or Social Security claiming seminars. The learning part of it, you will have that. You probably need to spend 4 or 5 hours just kind of getting up speed, and Dave will help you with that, but he's going to be available to answer any questions. And you don't take questions during the meeting itself, so it's not like you're going to be standing up there and somebody's going to ask a question and you're going to be stumped. You'll have get plenty of opportunity to get your question. Hey, let's sit down, we'll talk about it, and then get the right answer for your client using Dave and using the knowledge that you'll have picked up in the meantime. So that by no means at all should that be a barrier to you moving forward on Social Security claiming seminars.
No, Dave, you're exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to add as we get closed up here this morning?
No, there's no such a thing as a silver bullet, but I will just tell you, if you're working with the pre-retired or just retired, those people that are in transition, Social Security is a commodity. I mean, 95% of all people, the U.S. adults, get a Social Security benefit. So you know what? And you're normally working with the ones, not the 40% that take it at 62. You're at the ones that really want to maximize the benefit, which usually have other monies. So it kind of self-filters itself from a demographic standpoint. So I mean, I don't want to oversell it, Steve, but I tell you, once you really understand Social Security, you got a system to go in and talk to people about Social Security. It would be very hard for me not to see that their production increasing. That's what happened to me, and that certainly can happen to you too.
That's absolutely been our experience. So it can be a nice gateway, a nice doorway to meeting a whole group of new people for you. And that's what we all need right now. People need to be motivated to see you, and this is a way to get them motivated. So
absolutely.
Great. Thank you all for joining us here this morning. Been a great webinar. Great job, Dave, as always. Appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule. I know things have been a bit busy for you here lately with the kind of the appointments on the radio side. It feels like there is some pent up demand out there. People wanting to get out and get some things.
I think so.
Yeah.
Steve, real quick. Yeah, one of those people I was going to Zoom with, and the guy said, you know what? He said, I've been pent up here for about 2 months. I'm ready to get out. I'll see you at your office. I said, okay, great.
Yeah, I'll be there. That's good stuff. Well, thank you all for joining us again. We really are biased towards helping those folks that are trying to improve their business, and so anything that we could do, appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule today. Anything we can do to help you, we're going to be biased towards doing everything that we can for you. So give us a call, give your sales director a call, give me a call if you like. Love if I could spend my day talking to producers about how to help them grow their business, about their successes and failures, I would. That's what I'd rather do. So don't don't hesitate to give me a call or anyone on our annuity sales team. We'd love to chat with you. Thanks for taking some time out of your schedule. Thank you, Dave, as well.
Sure.
And let's have a great finish to our sales week.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye.